Hey there, Toby. Hope you're having a great day today. This is your video lesson. Two things I want to talk about. I'll go down that list, and if you have questions here at the end or want me to look at anything, feel free to shoot a message on over and I'll do my best to answer. So let's get to it. So first thing is, awesome, thanks for seeing those videos over. It's really helpful for me to see kind of where your playing is. It looks great. I'm going to say that the chords are nice and even. Again, nice quarter note downstrum. We'll talk about that in a second. What the next step for that is. Really nice on the melody playing. I think you might, if you don't have it memorized, we'll talk about that too. But it sounded great. Timing was really good, really tight. I liked your solo. It was very nice. We'll talk more about that as well. Things are looking really good, and I'll have a new tune for you probably next time. Once you're in the studio again, we can go over like some of the things in the music. That would be new for us. So first thing, Old Joe Clark, what I would want you to do with that is, like I said, practice saying the note names. So I have it pulled up over here on my computer. So practicing like D, E, F. The more you practice reading this stuff and saying the note names out loud, playing on your guitar, obviously, doing the exercises out of your Berklee note reading book, the better you're gonna get at it and the faster you're gonna learn tunes, which is the best thing to do. So practice reading off the note names for off the guitar practice. And then what I want you to do is I want you to memorize the song if you haven't done so already. Because if you're going to play with other people, you might not have your book with you that day, or the more you have it memorized, the more free you're kind of with it. So if you're always kind of reading with it, there's always that chance you can get kind of like lost in the music. But if you have it memorized, you can just play it right along with somebody. So the next step with it is actually the strum. Your coordinate strums are sounding nice. That 1, 2, 3, 4 is going good. What I want to introduce is, and I was sending some pictures over with the one with the email video with the video link. Is this right here, this handout, and so you can see right here. These are just quarter notes, same as in your note reading book. And if you look at the bottom of 12, the first measure there where it says the E minor, example 1D, what it's going to look like is this. That first measure is just simply 1, 2, 3, 4. Just straight coordinates, just the same way that your note reading is. So instead of having like one single note, you're having notes stacked on top of each other. If you look at measure number 2 there, you have, it looks like 2 chord notes and there's a beam connecting the two. What that's called, that's an eighth note. And that is half the value of a quarter note. It's just like fraction, that's literally what it is. And it's basically 2-for-1 ratio. So 2 eighth notes will fit inside of 1 quarter note, and it sounds like this. So 1, 2, and that's what you count it. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So if I were to put a metronome on, which I highly recommend doing, a nice easy tempo of like say maybe something like 75 or 80, put my metronome on here. Here we go. I have it set to 75, so this is what mine's set to right now, 75. I use a fancy metronome called Tonal Energy. It has a lot of bells and whistles. You may not need it yet. It's a simple metronome that clicks, that does subdivisions is all you need. And if I put that on right there, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, quarter notes. The more you can play with the click, the better. If you were to go to like Broadway and like go in the pit and like see the band members there, they have the earpieces and they're listening to click tracks. So that way everyone's standing. When you go see a band live, I almost guarantee that they all have clicks and they have in your monitors, and they're playing along with the mix is like the band really low, their mix, and then it clicks. So that way everybody is together. Every band does it. Otherwise, there's a lot of chance for someone to get off, or I can't hear the other person exactly what they're doing. So I've got that click on there, right? And the more you practice with the click, the more in time you're gonna be. Better sense of time, I should say. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. If you were to come in this office in the morning when I'm practicing, you're going to hear a click probably most of the time. I'm playing with a click. I'll take it off sometimes to make sure I can do it without, but I'm almost always with that click going on. So I have that chord note beating right there. What you can do with some of these metronomes, I can't remember which one you have, but you can hit the subdivision up here. I hit the subdivision. I can select the eighth note. And then I have all the different subdivisions right here that I can do, different rhythmic groupings. And then this will help keep my eighth note in time. 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. And if I do this, so say if I go to a quarter note, right? and I'm strumming eighth notes, or sorry, I'm strumming eighth notes against a quarter note, and this could happen. So you see, I'm still doing a downbeat on the click, but what's inside of the click, because you have the click here, you have space in between, you could be off in the middle of it. I used to practice this way, like say with my scales, I used to practice just doing something like, and I never really thought I was rhythmically accurate in the middle. I watched a guy play and practice with the subdivision on. All of a sudden, my rhythm got much more sharper and much more accurate. And so I highly recommend strumming along with that eighth note in the background. That way, you know you're landing on the exact halfway point between the two beats. And then what you can do with Old Joe Clark is practice just strumming, say, for example, 1 and 2 with the quick, obviously. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's trickier to switch on this because of that quick switch you have to do with the chord change. You have a little bit less time to get there, but I would practice that. And then, and also too, you sent me the text over. I'm glad you sent that to me. There's a B section there, it looks like, with the F chord. We'll talk about that next time. I have kind of a way to introduce that through power chords. So if you want to start it, you can start with power chord, and then I'll show you next time movable major. And we can talk about that next time. I'll come and do that in person, or at least maybe virtual or something like that if we get to. And then next thing is soloing. So good. You had a nice sense of the melody, and you didn't go on too long of tangents, so the rhythm was right. What I'd like you to use more, though, is using sequence patterns, and then combine that with the rhythm guide. And what that sounds like is this. So see if I do, here we go. Old Joe Clark, moderate tempo. So I'll be in the G major pentatonic. Right, using that box right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3-note sequences with this. Right, and that gives my solo some more structure and cohesion. Right, if you're always doing different rhythmic groupings or different numerical groupings, it doesn't kind of always fit really well. You want to kind of be consistent with the numbers at this stage of the game. We don't even mix and match them. So, and then what I'll do is I'll use the rhythm guide, so it'll be like guacamole, what's it? Guacamole hot dog. Let's do different ones. They're just silly, but it works, right? Guacamole. 1, 2, 3. So my 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? I think I get that first, and then I combine it with my saying of guacamole hot dog. So I had 6 notes in total there, and I picked guacamole because it's 4, and then hot dog because it's 2. So the rhythm is guacamole hot dog, guacamole hot dog. So you want to make these things about 5 to 8 minutes long, and then you take a break. Guacamole hot dog. And then pull off at the end, right? So this grouping here, guacamole hot dog, guacamole hot dog. Put a little hammer on here at the end. This pickup's awesome here. This is my bass guitar. Cool, and then other things you can do too is you can quote the melody as well. So if you're playing this, what's that melody again is? There it is. You can do something like this. So, hot dog. So I combine my sequence pattern with a little quotation from the melody. You can kind of mix and match them. If I do another one, if I did, say for example, there at the end of the A section. What was that again? It was use it that way, so you can use little pieces of the melody and sprinkled in with your sequence patterns. Cool, so work on that for me. And then what we'll do next is we'll do Will the Circle Be Unbroken. I didn't want to give it to you today, like I said before, that there's a music concept that we haven't talked about yet. And I want to make sure it's really clear when I explain it to you, and whether we can ask me questions about it and make sure it's absolutely crystal clear. So work on that for me, and I will see you same time next time. Bye.